Hey there, welcome to the Hot Slice Podcast. I'm your host, Jeremy White, editor-in-chief of Pizza Today magazine. I'm joined today by creative director Josh Cowan of Pizza Today. What's up, Josh?
What's up, Jeremy? How's it going?
Man, I'll tell you what, man, things are looking up because we've got a great guest today, Nick Bogacz, who owns and operates Caliente Pizza Draft House in Pittsburgh. I believe he's up to 5 units. He contributes to Pizza Today magazine with the monthly column. He speaks at the trade shows. All around good guy, wealth of knowledge and information. Just a fun dude to talk to.
Yeah, Nick is one of the busiest guys in the business. He's got a podcast called The Business Equation. Like I said, he's an author, world pizza champ. I'm sure he doesn't get bored very often.
No, and anytime I think of Nick, the first thing I think of is the keynote address he gave in Atlantic City last year at Pizza Pasta Northeast 2019. It was heartfelt.
For sure.
It was moving. I'm not ashamed to say I had tears in my eyes at 3 different points. Talk about a guy who had been through the ringer in the business world and life in general. And he's the kind of guy you want to root for and see succeed. And he had a room of several hundred people in tears multiple times.
If I'm opening up a pizzeria tomorrow, he's one of the first 3-4 guys that I'm talking to for sure.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, man. Let's get right to it and bring Nick on.
Let's get it rolling.
Hey everyone, it's Katie, art director at Pizza Today, here to interrupt your podcast with a short commercial break. Performance Food Service is proud to deliver high-quality products, innovative technology, and custom operational solutions to restaurants of all sizes across the country. The flagship division of Performance Food Group, with deep roots in the restaurant industry, Performance Food Service has been the exclusive distributor of the Roma family of brands for more than 65 years. This signature relationship has allowed Performance Food Service to become a leader in the pizza and Italian segment of food service nationwide. And now, back to the slice.
Well, Nick, you just let us in on a big surprise, some big news. Today is your 20th wedding anniversary as we record this. And Josh, I'm pretty honored that Nick decided to spend his wedding anniversary with us instead of his wife.
I mean, how did that conversation go? Hey, I need to record this podcast before we go on our anniversary meet. So
yeah, I can see that. Hey, Nick, it's our 20th. Are you going to take me somewhere special?
Right.
Well, babe, I would, but Josh and Jeremy want to talk to me on the Hot Slice podcast.
Well, I think if you've got that support of somebody like that for 20 years, I think in this industry, they definitely get it. So, there was no surprise there, but she's always happy to be supportive. And I think that helps, but yes, she's just getting ready, packing the car, and we're going to take a quick getaway today. I've got a camp up north, and I just, about 3 weeks ago, I got a Mariforna delivered, so I'm gonna go and cook some pizzas tonight on it.
Oh wow, that sounds like we can just join along on your anniversary retreat if you like.
Well, I don't know, man. When I think of camp, I think of maybe a sparse campground, maybe an RV, maybe just a tent with an air mattress, maybe a fire with some s'mores and hot dogs. But you've got a camp with a pizza oven,
pizza ovens, and Bigfoots.
Jeez, how do we get invited to this camp? I think we need to spend a relaxing
retreat
camp. Yes,
a Pizza Today retreat.
That sounds good to me. We'll just make it happen.
Well, Nick, you've been writing a series for Pizza Today magazine for a few months now that really focuses on what a pizzeria operator should keep in mind when he or she decides they're going to take the next step in the career and open another pizzeria or acquire an existing pizzeria that they want to rebrand. You have a lot of experience with that. What sort of things do you keep in mind for the reader when you are putting that column together for Pizza Today?
What I've tried to really do is just start at the very beginning. Take somebody from, if they would go back and start reading the first one, and then by the time it goes through, just really taking them through the journey. Because that's what it is. It's a journey. It's not something quick. It's not a part-time hobby. It's definitely a journey. And I think as you prepare to get ready to open a new store and you take the steps to do it and you go through everything that comes up during it, you just got to make sure you enjoy it too, because when you get to the end and you do finally open, it feels so rewarding. But a lot of where the excitement comes in is in the process of it.
Well, right now, Nick, you have like 5 stores.
We have 5, and I always take pride in that I just roll the dice and keep going with the risk of opening one up. And we would have had a 6th one with COVID, but I did have to make the very hard decision to really put that on the back burner. And that particular location might not happen, but we know the 6th store will happen. It just, with everything that was going on, we just didn't feel comfortable opening up a 7,000 square foot restaurant in the middle of the pandemic. So yeah, but I have 5 at the moment.
That makes total sense.
Yeah, I think so, but it was still a hard decision. It really was.
Yeah.
Nick,
go
ahead, Josh. Go ahead.
Well, are they all open and operating right now?
So that's what's crazy. So we've gone from, obviously the first 2 or 3 months, like everybody, I think up until June 10th, from March 15th to June 10th, we were just pickup and delivery. June 10th, they let us go ahead and open up for takeout. It lasted 10 days, and then they shut that down. And then just in the last, maybe 7 days, they said we could open 25% takeout. Now I have, you guys have been there. There's 150 seats in each one. So right. It's like to be 25% capacity, and it counts your staff and everything. We just decided to stay pickup and delivery for now is kind of where we're at. But we did have a case of COVID go through one of the stores about 3 weeks ago. So we did, we went back and forth. We could have opened back up quickly, but we did shut it down for 2 weeks. The staff is very unsettled, when that happened. So I think it was probably the best choice just to reset the staff almost more than resetting the store and getting it cleaned. It was probably more important just to reset the minds of the staff. And that's kind of what we've been working with. I mean, it's just everyday hurdles, I guess,
So Nick, was this, to follow up on that, was this like one employee that had tested positive for COVID, or was this multiple employees? And then was this a voluntary decision on your part to let's just completely close down for a couple of weeks, or did you receive guidance from the health department mandating that you close temporarily? How does that work in Pennsylvania, more specifically in your county?
Sure. So I'll take you through the life here of, I think a lot of people listening can kind of relate to this, the life of the pizza operator. Everybody sometimes thinks it's glory and you're making all this money and everything else. But, the truth is I woke up on my birthday, June 30th. Everything was great. Going to do a little bit of celebration. I worked in the morning and I got a phone call. Hey, one of our drivers come back with positive test. Oh boy. So, okay, well, how long ago? When was the last day he worked? Everybody checks 8 days. Okay, 8 days. So I call the health department. Very next call. I just figured, the safest thing to do, call the health department and listen to them. I have a great relationship with them. He's helped us open stores and everything else. He said, look, Nick, I said, do I have to close? He said, no, we don't want you to close. It's been 8 days. He said, you've sanitized 7 or 8 times. You just have to figure out if anybody was in close personal space for 10 to 15 minutes with no mask with this guy. And if they were, those people need to be tested. And that's it. And they need to be quarantined. So I called, this is the first time I went through it. So I called a phone meeting, told the staff this. Everybody went hysterical. Nobody listened to if you were close and, without everybody's wearing masks. So nobody was close to this guy. But they did have, of course, guys are out partying together. They're sharing vape pens and everything else. So we had about 4 guys that needed to be quarantined. So that's what they did. Another guy, younger guy was working. This was on like a Tuesday, or no, maybe I guess it was like the week. Yeah, it was like a Tuesday, I guess. That was my birthday. So then Wednesday, another guy went and got a test, but he got a test because his friend of the family had it. So his mom made him get a test, younger guy, 20, 21, 22. So he gets the test. And in the meantime, there was a lot of just back and forth of should we close, shouldn't we close? The health department told me not to. My guys wanted to. I also had a good bit of people who didn't want to close. They're like, look, we don't want to close. We want to work. I'm counting on my money this week, So like, well, whatever you guys want to do is fine. So they decided to stay open. In the meantime, this other guy gets tested, doesn't tell anyone he gets tested, works Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and on Sunday in the middle of a group text, he says, "Hey, I'm positive." So by that time, yeah, he's worked 40 hours in 4 days. He worked with everybody. Because of the first case, everyone's still on high alert. And I just decided, you know what, it's a Sunday. I can't call the health department. Just shut it down. So we shut it down. My thought was, we'll get everybody tested and then we'll reopen. When I called Monday, he said, "Look, Nick, I already had somebody come in. They did like a fogging that Monday and cleaned everything and like a COVID antibacterial spray." And then I said to them, "Well, can we, when can we reopen?" And the health department's like, "Look, you can bring in another staff from a different store and open tomorrow. Like you can, and once again reiterated that it was just people that would have been close with them. So I could have reopened. I could have had people tested and then brought them back quicker. But like I said, the staff was just so unsettled. I mean, there was like a really disdain for what was going on. And out of the 5 stores, this is the store that's taken the most precautions. They've got three or 4 bartenders over 60. My general manager has some health concerns, so he's high risk. So it's like this store was the one that was, the most nervous about it. And then this happened. So I just felt like the best thing to do for them was to shut it down for 2 weeks. And then I put out a memo to them and said, "Hey, I'm going to pay everybody for the next 2 weeks." And that's what we did. And then I called my distributor. They were awesome. We went over. They brought me a special truck and a worker. Me and him loaded it up, and we took all the perishables to all the other stores. I think we closed Monday and did that on Tuesday.
Well, that's outstanding leadership right there. Peace of mind for the employees, it goes a long way in building that relationship.
Yeah. The other thing is, I think most of the guys, like other guys in the business, we got the PPP loans. So I think that's kind of what they're for. I just felt like I should pay everybody and just move on. That was kind of the right decision. And you just got to make sure everybody feels safe during this. That's the biggest thing. And I think what we're trying to fight through now is the normalcy of it. Trying to make it somewhat normal. If you go into the stores, there's signs everywhere saying, don't enter, enter with a mask, call first, all this different stuff. And I was like, well, can't we just get one sign that says everything on it? It's like, right. We might as well just hang yellow caution tape up on the stores right now. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. When the store looks like a murder scene, It's a little disconcerting, right?
Yeah. And it's all of them. They're just worried, everyone's pretty nervous. And then when that was going on, the backdrop was, I have 5 stores. So I had I probably had 15 tests that week. And I had general managers getting tested. And it was really tough because, you're waiting for these phone calls to come in and see if somebody has it. And you're trying to think in your mind, I might have 2 stores that shut down. I might have 3 stores shut down. It's just, it drives you crazy to really worry about it. It really does.
Yeah, I can only imagine. And like Josh said, you displayed amazing leadership there, looking out for your staff and your employees. And, when you take that financial hit, because it's definitely clearly a financial hit to not do business out of that store for 2 weeks and still pay your staff, I can only imagine that your staff is appreciative and sees that you are looking out for them and have their backs. And that's, kudos to you. Fantastic. Great job. And the follow-up that I have to that, a question that came to my mind as you talked about that, I can't help but wonder what the ramifications are with your customers when they see that your store is closed for 2 weeks and they realize it's due to a positive COVID case. How do you ease the mind of the public that your store is safe for them to come back and eat your food and conduct business with you? Did you have any customers reach out to you and are worried, why is your store closed? Am I going to get sick if I eat your food? Things like that. How do you navigate that very tricky situation?
Well, I think with the pandemic, I think we can all agree that there's, probably three camps of people. There's the ones that are super worried, the ones that just don't care, and then the ones that are just kind of in the middle and, they wear a mask out in public, but that's about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So with that in mind, what we decided to do is just be honest and transparent. So there were people that wanted to know, hey, was it your delivery driver? Was it a server? Who was it? And we told them hey, it was a delivery driver. We made sure to put a statement out that kind of said, hey, this is what happened. We had a case of COVID. We're going to close for 2 weeks. Everyone's going to be tested before they come back. And there were people that reached out. They want to know, like, was it my delivery driver? You say no contact, but we wanted to pay the guy in cash. Did we come in contact with them? So we would go back and, we looked at the orders and call them back, say, no, it wasn't your delivery driver. I mean, we were honest with people. But out of that, we probably got maybe 4 people that wanted to know, what day was it? Are we safe? And that was it. And at that time, I explained a little earlier about how, open, closed, what they did with our dining room. So our dining rooms were closed. So that was another plus, I guess. We were able to say, like, this employee did not come in contact with the public, and yes, he was a delivery driver, but that's why we do no contact delivery. So it seemed like it worked out well. I mean, we really didn't get any backlash. And then this week we were about, last week was the first week that we had a full week of sales being open with the store. And we were about 20% off our mark. So, it's been a little slow right now, I guess. But it's hard to say. Some people will say, oh, it's middle of summer and people are on vacation. But I always say, if you're slow, that means someone else is busy. So I just think we're going back to the basics right now. We're going back to the fundamentals. We're going back to making sure what got us here. That's what we've been preaching to the guys. We want to make sure that we're making our great product and the service is top notch. We're quoting the correct delivery times and correct pickup times. And every order has a box topper. Every order gets a menu and a magnet. And we're just going back to what built the company right now. We feel like in the middle of the pandemic, we just need to go back to the basics and back to what built the company. And that's kind of our mind thought right now.
Hey everyone, it's Katie, Art Director at Pizza Today, here to interrupt your podcast with a short commercial break. Your friends at Message on Hold are happy to introduce our voice-over IP service. Message on Hold Phones is our solution for phone service. If the internet goes down, it's no problem. You can still take online and phone orders. No busy signal ever. Professionally recorded, customized messaging for your business ensures that your customer gets the message that you want delivered to them every time. Save money and get new phones. Visit www.messageonholdservice.com/phones. If you're looking for a POS provider that truly understands pizzerias, look no further than PDQ. Designed from the ground up for the exact needs of pizzerias, PDQ POS has been doing pizza ordering, delivery, and takeout for over 32 years. With all the functionality you need in today's environment, including online ordering, rewards, seamless integration, contactless functionality, and so much more, PDQ is your single source for, everything. Learn more today at pdqpos.com or call 877-968-6430. That's 877-968-6430. And now, back to the slice.
Well, Nick, switching gears just a little bit, and kind of on topic of that, your marketing for Caliente is top notch. I'm not sure many pizzerias actually do it better. What are a few pieces of marketing advice that you can maybe give operators out there like right now?
I think for a lot of people, I think it's gotten better. I was going to go into a lot of people want to do Valpak and penny savers and different advos and stuff like that and different magazines and direct mailing. And there's a need for that. There is, but it can't be the only thing you do. I think if you are looking at ads, you have to look at spending money on Facebook. I think if you're not spending money on Facebook, it's not good enough just to have a Facebook page where you post stuff and that's it. Like, you need to be spending money on Facebook. And with that being said, you need to do video. I think there's, you guys have had great seminars over the past years about how to do video and different videos to do. And I think if you're following other pizzerias across the country too, that's the easiest way to figure out what you should be doing. You should be, following other pizzerias in different markets and watching what they're doing. And when they have great social media, it gives you an idea like, hey, that was a great promotion, or yes, we should be doing something like that. But, I'm always watching what the other guys in our industry are doing, because I think there's some great minds out there and you can get a lot of good thoughts. So I'd say if you're a pizzeria out there, you need to, and you're not following other pizzerias across the country, you just, you should follow them and then take some of their ideas and make them your own.
Do you have a marketing manager? How does that work? Or are you just bouncing these ideas off your other team members? How's that go?
So for the first September will be 8 years in business. For the first 6 years, it was just me that did all the marketing, everything. And I had a girl who worked for me for 3 years at the time. She was everything. She started as a phone taker, then she was a server, then a bartender, then a cook, then a shift manager. So she literally worked every position. And she came to me in January 2.5 years ago and said, "Hey, look, I'm about ready to get my marketing degree, and I love the company, and I'd like this to stay on. Is there a position that I could fill?" And at that time, I was like, "Well, I don't have a marketing manager. I do it all myself. I really don't need somebody." And but at the same time, it was somebody who's been with me a long time. So I really, I wanted to kind of see if we could do something here. So I said, "Well, yeah, we'll figure something out." I started to give her a little bit of projects, and I said, "When you graduate school in May, then we'll talk about full-time position." So, she did a nice job through those 5 months and just taking some little things off of my hands. And then I realized, I was like, wow, I do great, but I have so many ideas that I can't even do because I'm so busy that if I had somebody else I could give these ideas to that could take the ball and run, it would be way better. So I brought her on full time. I can't say at the time I could really afford a salary. I mean, it wasn't like I'm paying a marketing person, $12 an hour. I gave her a full-time, area management position, full-time salary with vacation days and everything else. So it was kind of a leap of faith, but I had so many things we had the same website for 5 years, and I was like, first job, redo the website. And then she knocked it out of the park, made a beautiful website for us, working with our website designer. And then, now we talk every day, as I do with all my upper management team, and we talk every day, and we're working through things. And she brings a lot to the table, and then there's a lot of I'm still directing the ship, saying, hey, this is where we need to go. But she also has a real great insight. And another great thing she did was, I always want to do email marketing, but we just never did it. We had all these emails, but I had no idea, to put them into MailChimp and all that other stuff that comes with it. But it was so nice to say, hey, take these, 15,000 emails, and we have a really nice newsletter that goes out once a week too. So there's been a lot of different projects is what she's done.
What kind of focus do you have on your newsletter? What's in that newsletter for the customers?
So what we decided to do was make it very consistent. Every Monday, 3:00, and then there's 3 things in there. There's hey, what's going on this week with the overall store and the community. There's the pizza focus, and then there's the a beer focus or bar focus. So there's 3 of those things, and then we try to always include some sort of video in there with a link to a video talking about this week's deal or something like that.
That's great. And just real quick, let's go back to Facebook a little bit, because I know
Sure.
you put a lot of time and effort into that. What's your Facebook spend like as far as your demos and how's that work for you?
We consistently spend at least $2,000 a month on Facebook, and then we do increase it as we need to. So, there's times where we'll just spend more on Facebook. If we're like, hey, we got a promotion coming up, or we just won some big contest, if we've got something that's going on that we need to promote, or a new store, we'll put extra money on there. But, it may sound like a lot, like if you're like, wow, he spends $2,000 a month. But if you think about it, I don't think it's enough, honestly. When you start to think about 5 stores split into 2,000, that's really, $400 a store. It's probably not enough, but,
and you've been doing this for a while, because I know 2 years ago when I was there, you were heavily pushing in Facebook. So evidently you're getting a pretty good return on investment there.
I've been spending money on Facebook since 2013.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was really cheap then.
Yeah, no, it was, you got a lot more for it. And I think it's a good avenue. We just keep working it, and it works for us. It really does. We have a nice Instagram page, and we use Instagram, and Facebook's where it's at. That's where you can put your message out, and you can target people if you want to target your current customers, if you want to target new customers. If you're going into a new store and you want to blast out that you're going to be there, it's perfect. You do 5 miles around your store. I mean, it's really where you have to be. If you're not spending money on Facebook, if you take nothing else from this recording, you definitely have to spend money on Facebook. There's no doubt about it.
So, you guys are huge competitors as well. You're, members of the World Pizza Champions. You've competed in Vegas, Atlantic City, Italy. And I've noticed you have a new ad campaign where you're, kind of showing off your competition winning pizzas. How has the competition pizzas been received?
Oh, they get received well. I go back to maybe my first or second episode, or pardon me, my first or second expo, and sitting in one of the seminars, and Michael Shepard was speaking, and he said, "Look," he said, "you gotta compete in these competitions. You gotta try. If you never tried, how do you know if you can win anything? But if you win, or if you place, you can market it back from here to the moon." And that's what he said, and it stuck with me, and that was the whole idea that hey, we need to go out and compete, and that's where Eric came in, and that's where the whole everything was built. We built this culture that these guys, man, talk about a group that was really down in the dumps a little bit about Vegas and the coronavirus and everything. Right. I mean, these guys wanted to go so bad, and they worked so hard December, January, February on some pizzas. So I mean, it's one of those things that we definitely market it when we win. But you're right, we were going to do, originally before COVID, this was going to be the Olympics was going to happen, right? So we were like, all right, we're going to tie in with the Olympics. We're going to do our championship pizzas with the Olympic Summer Champions. And then this all happened. So I was like, well, we can't really do pizzas around the Olympics. They're not even having it. What do we do? And we had saved the one pizza that Eric placed with over in Naples specifically for this purpose to launch it now. So we said, why don't we make it about the customers? We'll call celebrating the customers at Summer of Champions, celebrating our Caliente customer, releasing a new championship pizza. And we started a promotion where our marketing director was tagging other people in Pittsburgh that have won championships in their fields, and saying, tag a champion today, and different hashtags. And it worked out really well. We've been selling a ton of it's the new one we released was the Luca Brasi pizza. It's one Eric made in Italy. It has like a bunch of different sausages, a bunch of different peppers, and a fresh mozzarella on it. And along with re-releasing, or we already have some of our other pizzas on the menu, but we put them more in focus. Our championship pizzas are also in focus with the Luca Brasi this summer.
Yeah, I think that's just an absolute great idea.
Yeah,
it really is. Hey, Nick, we're going to let you go. We know it's your 20th anniversary, and Angie, she probably wants you to spend the day with her instead of us.
She's probably in the car warming it up.
Hey, whatever.
I want to throw one thing out there to you guys too. My son yesterday he showed me something. He's got it circled that he's coming for that Young Pizza Maker of the Year.
Oh, I love it. I wish him well. I hope he plays it. Hey, one last question before we let you go, though. You do a lot of speaking for us at the trade shows. You're going to be sometimes you do food demonstrations, sometimes you talk marketing, business growth and development, things like that. What do you have on tap for Pizza Pasta Northeast in Atlantic City this year?
I'm going to take everybody through how to open up a pizzeria. Like, how do we, new store opening, right down to everything from the very beginning all the way through the grand opening. There's a course you can sign up for. And, I'm super excited for it, but put a lot of time and thought and energy in how to do it and present it in a way that people can walk away and actually be able to do it. Because I think that's the one thing when you go to any seminar, not even just Pizza Expo, but you go anywhere, you pay to go somewhere, you sit in a seminar, and I hate sitting there and thinking, okay, this guy did that, but I can't do that. So whenever I present anything, I always try to think, okay, how can I break it down so that somebody can see exactly how they could do it in their store, and they can implement the things that I'm talking about. So that's anytime I present, that's the way that I try to present it, is in a way that they can take it home and actually use it. So yeah, if you need some help trying to open a store, where I'm going to walk you through everything. So we're super excited about that.
couple years
Excellent.
ago. A couple years ago, when we were there to visit you, and you and Angie, yourself and Angie, walked us through the process when you're of opening a new store, I was completely blown away. So everybody who joins this seminar is in for a treat.
Awesome. I can't wait.
Cool. Hey, Nick, thanks for joining us today. Happy anniversary to you. Thanks for making time for your friends at Pizza Today. We love you, and we'll see you soon, buddy.
I can't wait to see you guys. Super excited. We have to make that retreat happen, too. We have a good time.
For sure.
I'm down, man. Sign me up.
See you, Nick. Have a great.
All right.
See you, buddy.
All right. Take care, guys. Thanks.